Good day, everyone. It's Jill with Astro Press. Let's talk about relationships because we're in Libra season after all. And we're always in a relationship with ourselves or with others, our lovers, friends, family, people we work with, the public, whatever it may be. And did you know were two articles I recently read, one in Harvard Business Review magazine, which was published in May of 2018, and the other one was in Workforce magazine. And basically, it's talking about how we as a collective are very low on our self-awareness. Only 15% of the population is self-aware, according to these studies. And I was thinking about that because I am a Libra rising, okay? And so we're always thinking about relationships, and I have 4 planets in the 7th house. And I realized that we really are low on self-awareness, and yet we have a really high divorce rate in this country. So think about it for a minute. The articles are saying that relationships improve when we become more self-aware. And it makes total sense that self-awareness is really low and the divorce rate is really high, folks. So I'm thinking we can probably implement and change those numbers and get the awareness factor up, and maybe the divorce factor will decrease. And so how are we going to do this? Well, the first thing is, if you're listening, you're probably pretty self-aware. Did you know your natal chart is teaching you self-awareness every time you pick it up and look at it? Every time you have a reading? Anytime you look at your chart for the first time and start that verbiage, I am? I remember my mom gave me a copy of my chart, and all I could do was say, I am a sun sign of Taurus? I am? I'm a Libra rising. Once these I ams kept coming out, I am I am. My sister's a Scorpio sun, Sag rising. She was saying the same thing. I am a Scorpio. I am this. The thought, what I'm talking about, like you're processing your chart. And so one of the greatest gifts my chart has given me and will give me until the day I die is it teaches me self-awareness. And I'm not even aware of that part of it. And I think that's a gift that our charts give us. And there's other ways, of course, to incorporate self-awareness in your life. And the article was talking about people that are in counseling or become counselors are very that's a way to get more self-aware. People who do like the Myers-Briggs personality test, those are ways to ignite self-awareness in you. People who go to therapy, people who do yoga, people who do meditation. There's various ways to ignite self-awareness. But the beauty of our natal astrology chart is that subconsciously we're getting ignited and we don't even know it. And you'll know what I mean when you start working with your chart a lot. And, when I look back at where I learned a lot of self-awareness, the truth was a lot of it started when my mother gave me my natal astrology chart, because the truth is we weren't taught self-awareness in the school system. We weren't. We were taught about math and Spanish and psychology and PE and we, Carl Jung, the famous psychotherapist, but they didn't ever talked about, self-awareness. They never talked about astrology. They talked about Carl Jung, but they didn't talk about how Carl Jung used the natal charts of his patients to have successful therapy sessions and to help his patients along. That was missing somehow in the school curriculum when I was going to school. And I've got a bachelor's of science and a master's, and we weren't taught self-awareness. So there's no surprise that the world in general is low on self-awareness. But the opportunity is that we can increase self-awareness. And because I'm a Libra rising, I have to tell you, you can increase and improve your relationships by just looking at your natal chart. You can. Your self-awareness skills are going to go up. You watch. And so I encourage everyone to keep those self-awareness skills going strong. And maybe encourage your friends, your lover, your family members, the people you work with, to also encourage their self-awareness skills. And let them know. Pull their natal chart for them. Have a conversation. It's fun to talk about your charts with other people and, just bounce things off of people. It's fun to do. And so I'm going to close and just say that it is relationship season. I want you all to have great relationships. And remember, self-awareness in the studies are showing is one way to have better relationships. And I believe one of the tests to see if someone is self-aware or not is when you have to have those uncomfortable discussions. How do people react when you have to have an uncomfortable discussion? Do they say F you and walk off? Do they say screw you? You know what I'm talking about. Or do they say, hey, I hear what you're saying. I hear you. Let's talk about it. Or let me process what you're suggesting or saying to me about what needs to improve in this relationship, and I'll get back to you. That's the best form, to me, of how to gauge self-aware people in your world and gauge yourself. How do you react when someone calls you out on something? How do you react? Do you go off the handle? Do you say F you and walk away? Do you not call someone? Do you blow them off forever? What do you do? And we need to look at all this, because if we can increase self-awareness, just think of how better the relationships can be for everybody. And if we can show the future generations to come that we are working on self-awareness, we will be teaching them as well about the importance of self-awareness. Even though we didn't get taught it in school, doesn't mean that we can not learn it, is what I'm trying to say. And so, congratulations to all of you listening who look at your natal chart a lot and are learning about your chart. You are on the journey to becoming a more self-aware person. And so that's all I'm going to say. Happy Libra season, happy relationships. I'll talk to you soon.